This is my first Zoom call.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. This is my fourth one today.
Wow. Yeah.
Welcome to the Zoom life.
Thank you.
Oh, and we are live at 5 with our Race to Zero Waste Action Hour. Hey everyone, this is Maria from Race to Zero Waste. Glad to see you all. There's Andrew. Hey Andrew.
Hey Maria.
Hi.
Hey Mom.
Hi Owen.
Hello, Mom.
So we'll maybe get some interruptions today. I have someone here, Owen, my very special guest. Hey Owen, you want to go show bring your Halloween decoration, your ghost? So it's Halloween, it's October, it's our Halloween month, and our Zero Waste Challenge. So we've been doing decorations, making our own decorations out of upcycled. So during shelter in place, we amassed napkins that we didn't ask for from to-go places and plastic bags. So we've turned them into ghosts. Just one of our ideas. Oh, and I'm gonna need you to walk away now. I'll be with you. What?
Could I do my iPad?
Yes, go. Thank you. Oh, yeah, mom life. And so thanks everyone for being here. We have a really fun action hour tonight. We have Davey with the Harvest Collective, who is going to be doing a slide presentation, plus some music. We also have Mary Castro, who's helping with a big, cool beach cleanup. She'll talk a little bit more about that. And in the meantime, before all that, I want to give you guys an update about Race to Zero Waste and what we're doing. So we're wrapping up our season at Dolores. What a season it's been. It's been pretty calm. We do plan on doing a video shoot to kind of show folks what we've been doing at our zero waste stations. So really excited about that. Also heard today, there was concern that the Proud Boys are going to show up to Dolores tomorrow. But luckily we know that no one gets a permit to do anything at Dolores. So they didn't get a permit. They'll be down at the UN Plaza if you want to avoid that area. But they won't be at Dolores near our zero waste stations. So with that, I would like to introduce Davey. Davey is with the Harvest Collective, and they have a call to action to self-organize families and communities for food sovereignty, good health, good times, and ecological resiliency. And the bio says, we are building a food scrap collection and compost business, offering garden-related services and organizing organizing a community-owned forest farm in Roanoke, Virginia. And Davey was telling me about his walk across America and how it ended in Ocean Beach, which is where I'm reporting from, where it's a balmy 85 degrees, which is unheard of. And a little bit more about Davey. He's been a blue collar worker, yay for our workers. He's been working, he has a bachelor's in environmental science and policy, and organized lots of sustainability initiatives, including co-founding Pick Up America with his friend Jeff Chen, and he promotes Zero Waste Future America. I'm guessing that's what brought you walking across America, Davey. Cool. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Davey, and so he can show us his slideshow presentation of his walk across America.
Well, hey everybody. Hi, Andrew. I can see you. Hey, Andrew. Hi, Mary.
Hi.
What's up, y'all? It's nice
Hi,
to
Davey.
Hi, Kimberly, too, and Teresa and Nicole. It's nice to meet you all. I'm a zero waste enthusiast, just like the rest of you all. And I guess I really struck me deeply about zero waste was the zero emissions, as well as the going into our rivers and our airways, but also just the concept of trying to take whatever we don't use anymore and find a purpose for it. And it's so contrasted to our throwaway society right now. And I'm preaching to the choir here, but it inspired my friend and I to try to walk across the country and pick up trash. And I say try, we did it. It took 3 8-month seasons to complete that journey. And that was from 2010 to 2012. We picked up a total of over 100 tons along the way. And it was 3,762 miles that we endeavored. And it was a coordinated project with a number of other young people and different folks across the country. And that's how I originally became Facebook friends with Teresa. So that's what sort of brought me all to you all. So I live in Roanoke, Virginia now. And these are some pictures of my wife and my baby and my dog Webster. And we are fortunate enough to have moved on to a piece of land with a really wonderful woman. And we're starting a community permaculture farm here. And concurrently, I live next door to sort of a local food hub in development that is allowing me to develop a food scrap collection and compost business. Based around really trying to do a lot of education around composting here. I'm in Roanoke, Virginia, so there's not a whole lot of consciousness around these things yet, which we can talk about a little bit more. I'd love to field any questions, but I'm just doing a quick intro. This is me. I love playing music. I'm an environmental educator. I spend a lot of time with young people over the past 10 years, teaching about zero waste and sustainability and gardening. This was on stage at the Maryland Association for Outdoor Environmental Education's Youth Summit, where I was a keynote speaker at. And I'm originally from Maryland, outside of Washington, D.C., Silver Spring, Maryland. So I'm an East Coaster, but I did get to travel and see the whole country. This is a summer camp that I had organized, and we're planting native pawpaw trees in the forest in Maryland, where I used to work. And I just think this picture kind of represents who I am, just leading people to plant trees and get dirty and restore the earth. I'm really a believer, I'd say is in compassionate earthwork, and us just getting involved in doing the work to heal this earth, because we all know it's really the most prescient thing to do in this era right now. Well, amongst many, but it's one of the most. So these are some other folks that I'm working with the Harvest Collective now. This is a tree planting we did about a month ago. That's Ricky. And my Paige, my mind is so blank right now. She's come. Taylor. It's Taylor. Yes. And we're planting a persimmon tree there. That was at one of our events. And we can go to the next one. And there's some of our sweet potato harvest. This is all of what I'm doing now. We harvested about 550 pounds of sweet potatoes this year in our garden. And the next slide is a picture of me flipping the compost. So I have 2 large compost piles, and I'm just collecting from one grocery store right now. I am in the process of developing a fundraising plan to build the infrastructure that we need for this small compost facility. We're looking to compost about 20,000 pounds of food scraps per week at this facility. And we're going to utilize static aerated compost bins, 4 large static aerated compost bins to do it. And we're only going to be about an acre as the size of our site. So it's pretty small, and we're really just trying to get something going here to educate people in this region. I'm in Southwest Virginia, about composting and the importance of zero waste. There is some good conversations here. There's some other groups in town. Sustainable Roanoke is doing a lot of work around just educating what is recyclable and what isn't recyclable. But frankly, a lot of the commercial businesses here don't even recycle their cardboard. So it's pretty bad. I can pretty much go and get free cardboard from anybody in town whenever for my gardens. So if we keep going.
Oh, hey David, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So your compost piles, how do you turn the piles?
Gosh, I am so fortunate that the grocery store here in town actually owned a tractor. And it's a long story, but I worked for a local nonprofit named Leap for Local Food. And it's the Roanoke Food Cooperative. So I don't know if you know the co-op brand that's around the country. It's our local chapter of that. And they started a farm here that they eventually walked away from. And I worked for the nonprofit that leased the land after they left. And basically I said, hey, we might as well just start composting your food scraps. You got a tractor sitting there, and got some loads of wood chips dropped off and started doing it like that. But I've had some nice 3-bin systems in the backyard a number of times that work well. I just happen to be super lucky to have this access to this front end loader. It really is a dream come true.
Nice, cool.
Yeah, thank you for asking the question. This is a picture of about the amount of food scraps I collected from 2 grocery stores in a week here in town, that I then flipped over. I mixed with a whole bunch more wood chips and then flipped that pile on top of it. Yeah. So a little bit more about the development of the Harvest Collective right now. We're won a small grant in May of 2019 that gave us $3,000. I pretty much sat on it because my baby was born 2 weeks later, and I was working a summer camp job all summer. And I ended up buying if you go to the next slide, a wood chipper. And I also bought, the next slide's not there. I also bought a whole truckload of finished compost from another local facility, and started selling it around town to build more money. And in the meantime, I was going forward with that compost facility, and a dream came true with a woman who basically invited my wife and I to move in with her and start a permaculture farm in her house and fund the project. So I'm just super lucky, really, that I moved to this beautiful place in Roanoke, Virginia, and started making connections to have access to a tractor, and then access to a piece of land that's adjacent to where the tractor lives to start building a community permaculture farm. So we are developing a membership where people can basically work on the farm and clock their hours and come back to get fruits and nuts and vegetables in the future from the farm. So that will be redeemable not just this year, but in future years. And the way this kind of works, the Harvest Collective, is that we are saying 1 hour in this first year is worth about $6 in produce or products from the farm. But in the future, we're measuring how much food we're growing on the farm, and we're going to get a gross productivity rate, basically an hourly rate of how much food we grew versus how many hours everybody worked. And then everybody's going to be the amount that they work per hour is going to be worth that productivity rate. I don't know if you followed that there. Basically, we're getting a wage rate based on how much food we grow, and then everybody has that shared ownership in the harvest to come back and share in that. So we planted around 26 fruit trees this year. There was 26 already on the property, and this weekend we're planning to plant about another 30 trees, which I'll show later. So this is how we do our fruit tree plantings here. These are built on contour swales, and we plant our fruit trees on the back of them, and we will be subbing in a number of native plants alongside these fruit trees, as well as different herbs, to build out polycultures to support them. Are you all familiar with this permaculture stuff? Anybody out there want to comment on it? Okay, cool. Just leaving space for everyone else. Yeah, so this is a 2-acre forest garden in development. And I think if you click on the next slide, you'll see my planting plan that's coming up. So just finished this hot off the press. This is our part of our planting plan. There's actually 5 different sections here that we're going to be working on. This is one of those. So we're planting a number of elderberries and hazelnuts tomorrow primarily, and we're also filling in with plants that are native to this bioregion here in Appalachia and the Piedmont area. So I'm really excited about that. We have probably 15 people registered to come tomorrow and another 12 the next day. We're separating people off into their own pods to work with their families to keep with social distancing. So everybody will kind of have their own little design to work on. And did y'all lose me? Am I still here? Okay.
Yes, you are.
Okay, cool. Somebody tried to call me. So these are some of our plants we're planting. Those are actually the native plants in the flats right there. And some of the elderberries that we propagated here this year, as well as some hazelnuts and peaches. That's not all of the plants we're planting. And the background of that is the chicken tractor that we built last week using all repurposed wood. So I'm a wood scavenger. I just gather wood from people throwing away, take their decks, and take all the nails out of them and just start building chicken coops. We've got 50 chickens on the farm here right now. And yeah, so this all really came from feeling like the real ticket to zero waste is really living closer to the earth and trying to not have to package things because things are so fresh that you're just getting it from your front yard and your front garden, and you don't have to ship and package it. So there's no need for waste, and all the waste we have is going right back into the compost pile. So just kind of the lifestyle I'm trying to build for myself and my family, and really create that extended outward to my greater community here in Roanoke. Yeah, I'm open to any questions. Also, we have some slides on Pick Up America too. So I'll keep going. This is a bottle brick bench. Are you all familiar with bottle bricks out there? Yeah? No, maybe?
A little bit. We had Lindsay, who leads Tiny House Collective, talk about bottle bricks, but we'd love to hear you explain about it and this sculpture, because this is bottle bricks in art. So yeah, please tell us more.
Yeah, so maybe you all know Brennan Blazer Bird out on the West Coast in San Francisco. He lives in Oakland now, but he's a environmental educator out there, and he introduced me to this concept of making bottle brick benches. So I've been involved in leading the construction of these cob benches. I think 5. We've done 5 so far. This one was in Germantown, Maryland, after I got home from Pick Up America, but we also built 2 while we were on the road with Pick Up America. Brennan came out and taught us how. So if you're not familiar with Earthen Bag Construction, this is basically we fill up sandbags and rocks, like flat rocks at the bottom or old concrete. We put sandbags on top of that. And then we build a scaffold up to put all of the bottle bricks. And the bottle bricks are 20-ounce bottles stuffed full of plastic filmy waste. Basically, you take a drumstick and you stuff it down until it gets as hard as a brick. And then you can use that as a fill material for building these benches. There is I've seen a lot of schools, or at least pictures of schools that were built in Costa Rica in this fashion, but there's also people on other continents who are also repurposing plastic waste and building constructive space out of it. I don't know how many of these benches there are. There's definitely a bunch in California, but there's not many on the East Coast. This is another one that we built in Baltimore, Maryland. And that was some of the people that were working with the Harvest Collective before. So a little bit about Pick Up America. This is the route roughly that we took across the country. And it was really a dream of Jeff Chen's. Big shout out to Jeff Chen. He's one of the greatest people I've ever met in my entire life. And he said to me, Davey, I have a dream to pick up trash across America. And maybe you want to come with me. And I thought about it for about 3 weeks when I was a senior in college. And I said, hey, let's let's give it a go. I was an organizer for different sustainability initiatives on campus, and Jeff was a videographer. So we kind of united to form this organization. And if you go to the next slide, I think there's a picture of Jeff. So this was us, disheveled and disorganized, starting the trip at Assateague, Maryland. We started in Maryland as proud Marylanders. And we're just going to go through. Oh, and that was, if you go to the next slide, this was us at Ocean Beach at the very end with a lot more organization and a really cool statement. So we were up on by the Cliff House. Is that what it's called, Maria?
Yeah, Kelly's Cove is its actual name.
Okay. Yeah. So somebody was up on looking down over that and took the picture of us. And this is our symbol that we called Zero Waste for America. So you see the recycling sign with the infinity in the middle, outlined by America. And we have the 350 in the Gulf of Mexico for our solidarity with the climate movement here in our country. And yeah, that was a beautiful day. That was November 11th, 2012, when we completed the journey. And I'll show you a couple pictures from the trip so you can kind of get an idea of what it was like. A lot of going into ditches and grabbing things out. And that's just lending a helping hand to get that tough grab. But this is from the eastern shore of Maryland, where it was all wetlands historically and that were drained. So there still are these huge canals throughout the landscape there. You can go to the next slide. This was in Baltimore, and this is just one of the many large cleanups put on by other watersheds organizations that we participated in across the country. You can go to the next one. And we went from Maryland, and then we went to Virginia after that, and West Virginia. This was also in Maryland. So I want to show my state was one of the dirtiest. This is, if you go back to the last slide, this is actually very close to where I live now in Virginia when we got to Western Virginia. Did somebody want to say something? Okay. Yep, this was in Western Virginia, and we had some college students come and join us, as well as an intern from Russia. I wonder if y'all could guess which one the Russian is. But Alex is totally awesome. He's wearing the purple there in the corner, and he was a gypsy jazz guitarist who won a visa to come to America. And his first experience was picking up trash with me and Jeff, that's us in the middle, and our crew in West Virginia. So it's a very interesting cultural experience for him, and we learned lots of great things from Alex and enjoy a lot of good music. This was another picture of just an example of what we would see on the side of the road, a lot of tires. And somebody came and actually got all of that and scrapped it. And I guess y'all are probably wondering, where did all the trash go? We had a partnership with the Virginia Department of Highways, or whatever state Department of Highways we were traveling through, and they would come pick up the trash if we bagged it up and left it on the side of the road. In our first year, we recycled sometimes. We actually managed to collect all of the recycling for 3 counties in West Virginia and made a statement at the state capitol and piled it all up and said, hey, here's all your resources on the side of the road. We called it Recycle Mountain, and brought out a bunch of speakers and musicians to perform and play. And I think that was the first of the art projects that we started to create as Pick Up America, where we just wanted to create these cultural symbols to leave with people as we traveled through and kind of teach these lessons. We also spoke to 9,000 students while we went across the country picking up trash. So I spent a considerable amount of time going into schools. Jeff and I started a nonprofit to run the whole thing in the beginning. And I would say Jeff was a great fundraiser, but we both together, and along with the rest of the team that we managed to assemble, raised around $100,000 to support this whole journey over the course of 3 years. A lot of which went into maintaining our vehicle. We did not necessarily walk the whole way. We lived in a bus, a bus that ran on vegetable oil in our second 2 years. And the first year we lived in an RV that we fixed up. And what we would do is we would go out, we drop 2 people off on the side of the road, then somebody would drive the RV ahead about 4 miles, and then another person that was in the RV would start walking their distance. So I didn't walk across America the whole way and pick up trash. I was a part of a team of people that cleared a coast to coast highway across the country. And there was 33 other people who joined our team and lived in our camp. And there was about, I can't even remember the stat now. I want to say around 500 day volunteers or so that joined us. Shout out to Larry Gibson and the movement to end destructive coal mining, mountaintop removal here in Appalachia. Larry was a real stalwart here in the movement, and he passed away unfortunately in 2012. But he would, and you can still do this if you're around, take a trip to Caford Mountain and look up Keepersofthemountain.org. Fantastic organization that educates and tells the stories of people and their resistance to mountaintop removal, mining, and fracking in the coal fields of West Virginia in particular. It was very impactful in my life to see how wasteful we are in our land management for continuing this fossil fuel consumption. You can go to the next slide. Just some pictures. This is Jeff in a canal in Kentucky. This is what America looks like. You all know it. We've been cleaning it up. And the next picture is a picture of myself in West Virginia. Oh no, there's Mark. There's Mark, and he was on the trip in 2011. And you all know, but we would just, number 5 plastic cups, they just shred into a million pieces. And they don't even get recycled on the East Coast. Maybe they do on the West Coast, but I really ought to think about phasing out number 5 plastics in general. I mean, getting rid of all plastics. I don't know if I'm preaching to the choir, but it became very clear to me that like plastic and bottling and the whole recycling business as it is just a ploy to make it acceptable to make all of this trash that is not getting repurposed in a very practical way. I really think that there should be a powerful movement for glass bottling stations and syrup, soda syrup dispensers or whatever it is that people really crave to drink, that they can dispense into their own glass bottles or buying glass bottles, and we can go back to a system like that. It's probably 60% of what we picked up on the side of the road was just beverage containers. If we could really think holistically about how we take care of our beverage containers, how we take care of our takeaway packages coming from the stores so that everything can be washable in a universal industrial type warehouse for entire cities. This is just the kind of things when you're picking up trash on the side of the road for 3 years, you start to dream about. So I just really dreamed big about these potential zero waste solutions. Not that I've been able to actualize them, but I think I want to articulate them to you all because hopefully you all can see that we need to dream big in this situation because it's a lot of change that needs to happen. So at some point, and I think my refrigerator's beeping. We got put onto NBC Nightly News with Brian Williams, and then we were also on ABC World News with Diane Sawyer, and that brought us some more attention, and it was cool. Not a whole lot to say there, but yeah, we were on the news. We were on the news a lot. We were in local newspapers probably over 250 times or so going across the country. That's Brennan, and he's a fantastic ecological educator in the Bay Area. If y'all ever get a chance to link up with him, he built a really cool bottle brick bench. I want to say it's at like Lowell High School or something like that in San Francisco. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah, Lowell is one of the best schools in the city.
Yeah, I bet it is. Yeah, they had this incredible dragon bench that he helped lead the building of. And so this was in Moab, Utah. He came out and taught us how that's what the inside of a bottle brick bench looks like when I was describing it earlier. And the next picture is when we came and we put the cob. So this is the natural earthen plaster. So this is a mixture of sand, clay, and straw that hardens like concrete on the outside. And we actually got to learn from real natural building experts, Donnie Kiffenmeyer and Kaki Hunter, when we built this, as they lived around the corner from where we were building this bench. And it just happened to line up that these world-class experts who literally wrote the book on earth bagging lived next door to where we were building our first bottle brick bench. So those are the kind of synchronicities and luck that I think I've seen when I really pour my whole passion into trying to create something. Things start to line up. And I think that's possible for everybody. I'm just saying that this is what I've experienced in my life. That was the bench when it was done. And here was another cool project we did. You can click on the next one. That's a Una the Trojan unicorn in Las Vegas. We collected all of the bottles you see there came from the side of the road. And then after this, we got like, I don't know, 6 hours of recyclables from like the MGM Grand or one of those big casinos, and they filled up our Trojan unicorn. And our message to the world was our consumption is like the Trojan horse of climate change. You know, we, through all the materials we welcome into our homes and into our lives that we buy from the stores, that we participate in this worldwide network of oil and materials and plastics, like that is what's creating so much of, and land use, right? Of course, the way we use our land ineffectively. But so much of that is what creates so much of our problems with our rivers and our problems with our climate at this moment in time. So we built Una the Trojan unicorn to try to describe that in a symbol. So this was a picture that was taken as a part of 350.org's Day of Action in 2012 in downtown Las Vegas. And it says, a warming climate leads to less snow in the Rockies, leads to drying water supplies, which was our message for Las Vegas, as they are right next to Lake Mead, and it's an incredibly important water resource, as well as in the West. Shout out to the SCA, Student Conservation Association, really supported our organization quite a bit. And this is another one of those cool art for the sky images that was taken. And those are people there around a cool little tree that was built using mulch. So that's actually a picture of people hunched down there with some mulch. And also we were really supported by a group called the Tzu Foundation. It's a Buddhist relief and humanitarian organization founded in Taiwan. And Jeff's family is from Taiwan and was Tzu affiliated. So this group really, they actually did 6 different videos that aired in Taiwan on their television station, because Tzu has a television station in Taiwan. So if you wanted to learn more about Pick Up America or see more about our trip, you could go to YouTube and just look up Pick Up America and Tzu, that's TZUCHI, and they would pop up. You could also find all of those videos website is theharvestcollective.net. And I think we have just a couple more slides. This was our finale. So walking through San Francisco for our last mile, we wanted to have a parade with as many people as we could find. I'm in the red wearing a big Stop Mountaintop Removal hat, and I have an earth flag that I'm holding and waving in the front of the sign. And you can't see it, but that yellow sign says, "We walk for a future with zero waste." But there's a little girl walking in the front of it. I still have that sign in my shed. And another cool art project we did, but you can't really see very well, is that we built a 10-person drum built from materials pulled out of the Mississippi River. So yeah, we had like giant 55-gallon steel drums and buckets and boat caps, and we did a dance with that in Denver. It went to Burning Man that year. I didn't go to Burning Man, but the art project went to Burning Man with some people. And we also built it in St. Louis, and we christened it For Peace. And we had people come out and read quotes for peace, and testimonies for peace while we played the drum. And that was in 2011 when we built that drum. This was our final moment at the final mile at Ocean Beach. And we found a big styrofoam kind of packaging finish line on the side of the road a couple of days before then. So we thought it'd be appropriate if we stretched that out. So we're running up the beach to get to the end. And this was after, 3 seasons of picking up trash for 8 or so months. Can you click on the next slide? Yep. There I am right after we grab the finish line and then go running towards the ocean. And that was our kind of crew at the end there. We had 33 people, I know I said that before, who were a part of our camp living with us while we traveled. And of those 33, we had 16 come out to the final day because we really grew a community of people together for a positive mission of zero waste. And I would say there's Jeff and I at the final day with our school bus in the background. Gosh, I wish I showed you some better pictures of the school bus. Yeah, I think that the message of Pick Up America, and I just witnessed so much environmental destruction and really discovered America as an empire of extraction, from different landscape to different landscapes, and kind of mono economies in very, 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 a lot of parts of the countries besides the big cities, and a lot of degradation in community in all places, in all political persuasions and categories of life. America's hurting right now. America's hurting pretty bad, and it was very apparent from that journey. People were very welcoming of us in general. And I think that, gosh, I just felt such a heart expansion from doing service every day for 3 years and really spending time with the earth, and really spending time to slow down and create a habitat for a lizard, just so a lizard could live a better life, and seeing the care and the stewardship for different animals, and for our rivers. It was just really incredible to see how my soul and my whole outlook on life changed just from spending time in service. And since then, nothing has made sense to me, like, very much in society as it is per se. And all that really makes sense to me still is just working with my hands and trying to build harvests with the earth in a sustainable way, and building community in a meaningful way with other people who share in that stewardship and want to share in that camaraderie. So that's my story, y'all. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thank you. It was really inspiring, and I really, like, you wrapped it up. It doesn't make sense, like, we talk about climate deniers, but really it's like culture deniers, and that's really driving a lot of the destruction and furthering climate change. So thank you for, because it doesn't make sense. And, we were so happy that you and other folks are having these journeys and awakening to the future that we need to create, and you're making it. And your dream of, sustainable restaurants, we've been partnering with Dispatch Goods San Francisco, and they're changing delivery by offering reusable containers. So it's that collective consciousness. Like, we are starting to wake up, and we're starting to really make changes to how we do things and how we live our lives. So it's happening, and thank you for continuing your work. Very cool. Does anyone have any questions for Davey? We have a few minutes for questions, and then we're going to talk to Mary. And check the chat. Let's see. Oh, someone wants Teresa wants your shirt.
See what it said?
Yeah, Teresa, consumption has consequences.
And then
Yep.
this is the Pick Up America commemorative shirt. Let me see here. I'm wearing my pajama pants because I'm going to be.
Life after plastic. I can't read the sub letters,
Oh,
but yeah.
Yeah, it's
Very cool.
So yeah, if y'all want to stay in touch, you can find me at theharvestcollective.net. I'd love to learn about what y'all are doing too. And I just see this as an opportunity to find more good-hearted souls and people in the world that are doing good work to doing that good work.
Yeah, because it starts what you think is small with your friends. We've had the Groovy Grove, friend Keaton, who's back in Chicago. He started a garden collective just by asking neighbors to, can I plant on your backyard land? And we don't, I started with Race to Zero Waste, just talking to Teresa. So it just talks by it starts by these little conversations, but things can become so big. And we know that we need it. We know we need these type of changes. So hope you guys sign up to stay in touch with the Harvest Collective. And Davey, you did wonderfully. We'd never know this was your first time on Zoom.
Yeah,
cool.
and also folks, stay tuned for it's going to be in the next 10-15 minutes or so playing some music for us.
Yeah.
No, Mom. I have to tell you one thing.
Okay, so
write songs. Beware.
Hi, Mary. Are you? Mary is up next.
Yeah. So we have Mary with Value Culture, and they're a local group that also helps raise awareness about litter and picking up litter. And they're launching the Golden State Eco Warriors and have a really fun cleanup event at Baker Beach that Race to Zero Waste will be partnering with to educate folks around helping out our beaches and our coastline. So Mary, are you still there? Where's Mary?
Yeah, I'm here.
There's Mary.
Hi.
Hi.
First of all, Davey, you have to introduce me to Solution Craft, and this guy sounds awesome. Somebody in the Bay Area doing great stuff too. Like, love to connect with him. Thank you again for letting me be here and talk a little bit about value culture. I am a volunteer for the Golden State Eco Warriors. The mission of value culture is to produce and support artistic, educational, charitable, and spiritual events to inspire the next generation to give back to their communities. And the Golden State Eco Warriors group is a like-minded earthling group that takes action against and brings awareness to environmental violations. I'm here to invite you to Value Culture's Golden State Eco Warriors, City Surf Project, and Race to Zero Waste for socially distanced Halloween beach cleanup at Baker Beach in San Francisco on October 31st. Costumes are encouraged, of course. All ages are welcome, and so are your wagging tail funds. There's easy parking for cars and bikes, as well as bus access. Race to Zero Waste will be there with Andrew, our newest grad. Congratulations. Can't wait to meet you. It's important. We do all these beach cleanups, but all of this stuff ends up in the landfill or in the trash, and there isn't education at the beach about how to dispose of stuff. And we're really excited about Race to Zero Waste to be there at their eco tent to show us how to dispose of stuff properly and really educate our volunteers on proper zero waste etiquette. Maria most recently told me about number one rule, always pack out what you bring in. And I was like, perfect. I'm making shirts about that. First of all, I must ask that everyone brings a mask and a closed face covering, gloves, 60% alcohol-based hand sanitizer, grabbers or tongs, and 2 separate collectible receptacles. For those that may need more information about where they can find these items, we have all the information laid out on our Eventbrite page. where all the details are there and links to the, where you can shop and buy the stuff. Ideally you want to bring it from home, but if you don't have it, this is something that you'll be able to use forever. Our recent August Beach cleanup was awesome, and we look forward to sharing this experience with more of you. I would love for you to register attendance at valueculture.org. We'll also be sending surprises from local stores, sustainable, organic local stores like Three Bakes Bake Shop and the Juice Shop. They're great friends of mine, and they do everything sustainably, which is really great. To show businesses are doing this in the Bay Area. And we'll have treats, of course, after the cleanup from Grand Bakery and Ghirardelli Chocolates. Sometimes people can't make it to things like this, and I understand with COVID the need to maybe just refrain from going, but it is a socially distanced event. If you can't come, that's okay. Please share your own beach cleanup with Clean Your Beach. Follow us at Value Culture on Instagram or Facebook, so you can stay in touch with more up and coming events around the Bay Area. If you have any questions, please reach out to me at maryccaster@gmail.com. And I'm super excited to see all of you there in your creative costumes. And thank you. If you have any questions now, let me know. If not, I will see you all there.
Cool. Thank you, Mary. We're going to try. I'm going to try to get my son to come out. I know we're right around the corner. And he'll be Stripe, who's from the Gremlins. And I found a vintage 1980s suit. So
you have to bring that out and show it to me, of course.
Yeah. So finding a way. I'm glad someone kept their plastic 1980s costume to be reused for, my son who's just in love with the Gremlins. So cool. And thanks again. We'll see you soon, and hope you stick around because we'll be closing with Davy.
Of course, I'm here for it.
We also have Kim. She's going to, before Davy, announce a winner for the Zero Waste Action Challenge and talk briefly about our event, our campaign. Are you there, Kim?
I'm here. Thanks, Teresa. So just real quick, I want to let you guys know if you're feeling inspired from today's presentation and you're looking for other ways to get involved with the Zero Waste movement, you can join the Zero Waste Action Month Challenge through Race to Zero Waste. It's really simple. All you have to do is sign up at racetozerowaste.org and then post about pretty much any zero waste action that you're taking this month and tag us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or YouTube. And we'll be doing a few random drawings throughout the month to reward people who are actively participating in this event. And we have our first award tonight. So congratulations to Mary Castra for being our first Race to Zero Waste Action Month winner. We'll be in touch shortly with thank you.
Thank you.
You'll get one of these, Mary. A cup.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. I will take it with me proudly everywhere.
Nice. So we'll make sure that you'll get it, obviously in the next couple weeks when you're out at the beach. Maria and Andrew will coordinate getting you one of these. But thanks for participating in the challenge.
Awesome. Of course. Thank you for putting it up.
Nice. All right. Take it away, Maria.
All right. And I'm going to pass the mic to Davy.
So I'm going to ask you all, do you want me to play my sitting on the dock of the bay as picking up trash all day, or my personal manifesto song, the one that I wrote that I really feel speaks to me, or speaks to the right now in this moment even?
I'm going to go for the bay, just because we've been talking about water. Like, I feel like cleaning up water has been coming up all day for me today. And Kim has her lovely water picture up. Yeah, Teresa saying bay.
All right, well, yeah, we're going to...
That's just because I missed the bay. Sorry. I'm feeling blue.
Well, this one is for all the litter getters out there. Picking in the morning sun, I'll be picking when the evening comes. Watching them cars go by, and I watch them go by again and again. 'Cause I've been picking up trash all day, pulling them tires up the banks. Ooh, picking up trash all day, living the life I like. I left my home in Maryland, heading for the Frisco Bay. 3,762 miles we roamed, so we can make it to the coast. We could say we cleared a coast-to-coast highway, pulling them tires up the banks. Picking up trash all day, living the life I like. Looks like nothing is gonna change. Oh, this litter is insane. I can't clean up all that needs to. That's why I'm telling you that being a trash gypsy is a really great thing that we can be. With all this love that we found, I know we're gonna make it through these days somehow. And we'll keep picking up trash every day, pulling them tires up the banks. Ooh, picking up trash all day, living the life I like.
That was so good.
Yay!
Thanks, Sean. I feel inspired to play one more song if that's okay with you all.
Yeah, we have a few minutes. Go for
Yeah,
it.
do
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you. Yeah, I want to play you my song. This one's called Live Free. Every day, every step that I take is another way to relate to this world that I've learned to love, this world that I've learned to love to create. Every day I vibrate with the consciousness that migrates from the ways that overtake our love for what was made by eons of this universe space. And if we breathe too much in the negativity that surrounds us, we weaken our love for the star systems, the plants, the animals, the fungus among us, the crystals. Wishful people, those who keep it humble till we all become evil. No human being is illegal. We must stand up tall to this evil. Transmute the pain that they're offering. There's no stopping them unless we start blocking them from our pockets and transcend their suffering. There's no slumbering while this empire is crumbling. It's destined to fail, but life will prevail if you stop your belief that there is relief being brought on. If it's only money that we seek, awaken to the synchronicity that there is a higher path for us to lead. Disable the corporatocracy, disarm this hypocrisy of democracy and be like bees on the swarm. Build bridges between those that are torn by the lies and the illusion. Let's build our movement, live the solution. You're gonna do what they plan for you. Won't you live free, refugees? Don't you just stand there and be blown. Won't you shine free, little sunbed? We live free. We live free. I grew up next to the highway. Every day I watch these cars rush by me. People entrenched by this money making. Inside I felt this sadness overtaken, cause nobody heard this love for their earth. And many are bitten by the curse that they have to endure. This consumer scourge when we keep on diseasing instead of being cursed. When we keep on dividing instead of shining like lions. Just fight to bring the whole human race to Zion. Drive away hate with grace. This is our space to claim. Train your synapses, surpass the violence, and then at last we can be in our soul's vibrance. Feel your thoughts grow like violets. Open your third eyelids, be early to rise and admired by the skies. Be your path enlivened with bliss, intermittent kisses, long dances with your misses or misters. Whatever it is that you prefer, stand tall and stand firm. Shine down your soul, opening up to grow. Then we will know what we mean when we say we glow. And you're gonna do what they plan for you. Won't you live free with the refugees? Don't you just stand there and be blown. Won't you shine free, little sunbed? Really live free. We live free. Stop subsidizing greed, Wall Street and your rigged economy. Stop chasing my friends for smoking weed. We're escaping from this failing colony that kept prisoners and slaves and workers for bounty. Cause we live free. Divine yourself, apprenticeship. You don't have to be the consumer that they plan for you. As the old world dies and we are born anew, remember that you choose the way to relate to. Cause we live free. Promise yourself your vibe will outgrow this greed. Promise yourself your tribe will care for your being. Is there any reason to keep on going the way they've been showing? Is there any reason they keep on flowing the way they've been flowing? Unchain your flow and sing free. Won't be what they planned for me, cause I am flowing free. I will dance free with this high flow everlasting. We will shine free like a sunbeam. You're gonna do what they plan for you. Won't you live free with the gypsies? Don't you just stand there and be blown? Won't you shine free, little sunbeam? We live free.
Nice.
Thanks, Joe.
Yay. Thank you, Davey. That was beautiful. And yeah, so many truths in that. Seeing the truth.
Just to keep singing the truth, keep being the truth.
Keep saying the truth. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, wow. Is that available anywhere? Like, can we stream it anywhere? Or do you have it on your website? Or
I have some videos that I've just put on my Facebook page. Y'all can friend me on Facebook, Davey Rogner words. But yeah, I want to record it, but I haven't had time. Too busy.
okay. Well, just keep singing it. Yeah, the voice is it's such a instrument that we really need now, especially coronavirus, it's affecting our lungs, and what a great way to sing out, shout out, to bring that energy for hope and change. So thank you.
Thank you for organizing this and for the litter getters and for the Race to Zero Waste. I'm grateful to you all.
Yeah, we're grateful to have you and Mary Value Culture and Kim. Shout out to Kim doing her social media. Andrew, who's been holding it down at our zero waste stations and at our audits, and Freddie, who's been helping with our zero waste station and is heavily involved with Zero Waste Youth USA. So lots of very cool people. I hope all of you connect on Facebook, Instagram. We all need to connect because we're all doing things for the same mission. So cool. And thank you to Teresa, who's been doing the tech.
No problem. Freddie, did you want to say anything about the Zero Waste Youth Convergence, or are you good? Like, put it link in the chat.
Wait, I'll turn my video on. Can you see me? Oh yeah, there I am. Yeah, we have the Zero Waste Youth Convergence. I actually emailed Mary because I asked her for information about the beach cleanup. So it's next Saturday. It's free, and yeah, it's just go to zerowasteyouth.org. The registration is there. And yeah, I joined a little bit late, but I just wanted to, say hi to all of you.
Hey, Freddie. Thank you, and happy new moon. My friend, my favorite 4-year-old Venus just brought me a crystal to charge. So hope you charge your crystals, plant some seeds, plant some intentions, and love yourself. Thank you all, and we'll stay in touch and see you next month. Thank you.
Hey, bye.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.